dissing any of their policies. I mean, again, it was talking about the genius of we'll let you stream ended 8 seconds ago. I don't know if it'll let you restart or not. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get you kicked, but it shouldn't have.
Must be one of those that just flag, from some major company, like sometimes National Geographic will flag their stuff like that in midstream. Must have been one of those. Sucks.
Jeez, I mean, like, fucking hell.
Oh my goodness.
I do believe we're back up though.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm trying to check things backstage as well. So give me a second.
What would be really ironic and because the last time I was on Have No Sphere, was the first time we had to have No Sphere, and went to the podcast channel for a while.
Listen, it's you. No,
I know, man. I will take the fucking blame.
Anyway, that was pretty amazing, Cammy.
Yeah, that was crazy stuff, man.
Well, let people join in. Did you? I mean, tell me how that she's at that age. This is one that had, by the way, those conservation skills early, and I love it. Her parents don't make her do math.
And there was, while it was playing, it kept reminding me of another painter. And I can't find the reference in my head what it was, but that person was actually getting some visions and painting these angels, but they were very not what you normally see. And it was a young person. I don't know where it was. It looks like we joined as well. If I'm not mistaken.
We are joined.
Somebody's got a squeaky mic. I don't know that.
Yeah, that's Allison Nelson. Again, you may need to just watch that mute button. Sounds like you got that storm rolling in. Sounds like the lightning or something is affecting your headset. Would be a
I'm going to, let me put up, I'm going to step away and be right back really quickly. I need to reset my headset too.
Right on.
It's being weird.
Terrestrial Mac in the house. Welcome, TJ. Glad you could join us. I just dropped you the link in hopes you might see it and be able to hop on. Glad you did.
How you going, Mac?
Oh, no.
How's it going? Oh, you still muted. Nice to meet you, Terrestrial.
Yeah, I think it's an audio routing issue.
He's going to work it out. You can see his brain.
This is what happens when you
doing all the tricks I was doing while ago. Wait, where do I have to go with my sound?
I know that look.
And then I clicked it and thought I messed up, but y'all could hear it. So I couldn't. That's what I was saying. I couldn't hear it in my own ears. I had to take it out, which is normally not the case. So if I have to click out, I may have to go reset too. But
it's amazing with that, seeing that girl there, painting and stuff. You got to wonder how many children are out there that, if you let them just do what they want and figure out things that they like doing and let them get better at it, how many geniuses are actually, I mean, we're probably all geniuses if we were, given that allowance, in a sense. I mean, you don't have to be specific. I mean, she's gone straight into a specific art, but some people are more, they can do a lot of different things, and so it's not just streamlined into one thing. But it's super interesting for sure.
Well,
I'm here now.
One of the things that
there you go. I got you, TJ.
There you go. Go ahead, TJ.
No, I was just making sure I got it. Go ahead.
Well, before I forget, it was kind of back on, when in school, I said I was going out of body at the 7:30 a.m. first class of the day. And it was a really good time because now that I learned and what I know now about how you can sort of prime yourself to have out-of-body experiences, the going to sleep at 3 or 4 a.m. playing video games all night and having to wake up at like 6 a.m. just to catch the first bus, which had me like barely, awake to get my clothes, dressed myself and get on this bus. I'd travel to the school. I was the first one picked up, so I had the longest bus ride. I get to school as I'm napping several times on the bus. Then I get on another bus, go to high school, another 25-minute ride, napping again. So I get 17 power naps, right? And then I get to class and I'm finally in the desk and I'm sitting in my position. And over time I would leave my body, but having the amount of time not devoted to the stupid American history stuff, I think was a bunch of lies. Anyway, I was able to develop out-of-body travel skills, and then even explore that vibration rumbling stuff that I didn't understand that I was having first off in my early experiences, and still do, but I didn't understand it early on. So I wanted to research into that. That taught me Reiki. That taught me the energy healing stuff that I do. So I can only imagine if we didn't get forced to be told how to think instead of allowed to think for ourselves and be more creative in a school environment and have more hands-on and practical shit that, I learned a lot of stuff in school I can't apply to anything, in life. I'm glad I learned math and English and grammar, and most of the rest is, what the hell am I going to do with that? I mean,
and this comes to with the social side of things. You can actually, say you develop these talents and everyone develops these different talents, and then you have this social side of things where you can actually share these talents. I mean, this is a way of increasing knowledge exponentially, that they basically, designate what you're going to learn and designate your social times and who you're going to be with and all this sort of stuff, rather than actually, being drawn to the people that, maybe, can help you in those different areas that you need to be helped in. I mean, it's so backwards how we do it. It's just phenomenal that it's been allowed to be, pushed so far. And now obviously 2 + 2 = 5. So it's ridiculous.
Wouldn't it be nice to be able to go to a school?
Common Core math.
That's terrible, right? Oh man, they're pushing that. I saw some of that, and it's just the hardest way to ever do the stupidest, simplest math every single time.
Right?
It's a stupid, hard way, right?
It works out
we were
those
talking about the
reasoning
Vedic
skills
math.
back out. Yeah, sorry.
Right. No, the Vedic math, and then if you think about some of those tricks you see people do on the videos, where depending on how you line numbers up on the board, you can just do instant crazy numbers. And if anyone ever showed us any of that in school, we could have zoomed through all their math and saw through all the bullshit. That's why they won't show it to us.
We would have had a lot more time to soak up better stuff, but they wanted to keep us programmed even at that age and stuck in that box for a while and distracted. And then when we go home, we had video games. I played video games for the rest of my time. My dad moved into the middle of nowhere, Mississippi, and I had nothing but full-wheel riding.
No, indeed. What part of the middle of nowhere, Mississippi, sir? I have to know.
Called JS, Mississippi. It was between Tylertown and Monticello area.
I know Tylertown and Monticello. Yeah.
Right up in there.
I was south of Jackson in Simpson County, McGee, Mendenhall, that area. About halfway between Jackson and Hattiesburg, Jackson and Macomb.
I wasn't much of a mud rider, but I did learn how to ride a horse, and I was the only guy. I was the only guy in my area riding my horse with my big 2-handed sword. Going down the
dude is on the charge.
Going down the pasture about 40 miles per hour on my horse, swinging my sword. That was, it was great. I was a nerd, but I had the worst internet life. A 56K phone line connection when everybody was getting DSL and stuff. I had 56K, but it wasn't just 56K. It was a 56K phone line running literally about 200 yards through the woods into chicken houses that rats and mice would peck on and eat up. And so you pick up the phone to get on the internet. I'd have to listen to the dial tone and see how clear it was every time I want to, dial up.
Flashing me back, dude. I remember picking up a party line in Mississippi and waiting for my folks to get off so I could talk to somebody.
Dude, I'm a
lot older than you.
I'd be lucky to get the dial tone to dial because I would have the morning dew would seep in at 6:30 in the morning. It would get to the line and the moisture, and you'd have no dial tone at all until about maybe 11 a.m. Finally, you get a crackly dial tone. You get kicked off AOL. That sound bite, goodbye, is traumatized. It traumatized me.
Definitely is.
Unless you were making a phone call to the moon, in which case you could talk just fine, but with the silly time delay.
Well, that's because you're the president. They do special stuff for the president. I caught some of your jam this morning, by the way, TJ. Sorry to change directions, but I meant to say it when you came in. And guy was playing technical, getting us back on the air, etc. over here, trying to share links. But yeah, dude, you were jamming. Looping.
Yeah, I was rerunning my I streamed on Odyssey last night. Well, this morning. I actually went through right through your guys' show, I think. And I got
this morning.
Yeah, I got
That
done
awesome.
and I was like,
oh,
I'm gonna catch Iron Realm, and it was streamed 2 minutes ago or something. I was like, damn.
You were on fire, dude. That was what's up.
Thank you.
That's what I like to do, is just get lost in it. That's what I like to do. Just get lost in it. That's why I have so much trouble getting it into the computer. Because for me to get it into the computer, I don't get lost. I just get confused and frustrated, and I'm over it. And where's GTA? So if I'm in my other room where all the things vibrate the walls and shake stuff, I feel it and get in that mode and just click on a little drum track over here and I'm good to go. I'm not nearly as set up as you are, though. So between what you do and Lucas does, man, I've got to find that happy medium. I've got to, because, dude, Lucas has laid some tracks in my direction that blown my mind. We're going to get into that later, though.
Yeah, him and I have been talking and shooting some stuff back and forth. So
I heard about something. I didn't want to spoil it.
Yeah. It's funny that I get all this noise going. It seems so epic on the stream, and it's funny that it's all through headphones in here. Like, my room's totally quiet. It doesn't seem possible. Technology's cool.
It is for a lot of folks.
Oh yeah, you saw my mic ordeal.
I went through that, but I'm just saying we tend to flub quite a bit here. So apparently it's good for some folks.
I went through all my sound settings before I even jumped on, making sure computer's picking up the mic and these headphones and not this mic and all that. And then I jumped on. It was Zoom had my settings wrong. So
I did it 5 or 10 minutes ago trying to show the video. I'm like, wait, that's not right. Y'all hear it? I don't hear it. Blah, blah, blah. And literally, there it was. Everything was fine, but it wasn't for me. Technology.
Yeah, Odyssey's pretty sweet. The streaming over there. I had a dude with 12,000 followers reposting me and shit the other night. That was pretty cool.
Let's go away. And remember, Odyssey is the old library.
The new library is the old
Odyssey. was the new Odyssey. You got me. You know what I mean.
Actually, Odyssey is where they do the live streaming, and library is where the videos are stored. So,
okay, I know there's a connection. I'm trying to remember how it worked. Okay. Because it's the Rockfin thing that's new for me that I'm just now getting onto and seeing and trying to figure out. So
the Rockfin is the Rockfin is really cool. We're starting to I'm
excited about what I'm seeing over there.
Everybody is getting over there, and what's neat about it is it lets us do total free space and
right. We wouldn't have any of that bullshit we just had happen a few minutes ago.
Exactly,
because we'd be big people, grown-ups playing in our own sandbox, and you can just go home, take your dolls, and go the hell home.
And they do it via putting it that if you go over there and subscribe and sign up for it, because they do it via sign up, and that you are taking on some free will and responsibility on, as opposed to YouTube, where YouTube, they are saying we must protect you from all innocence. At Rockfin, the only things they've asked us not to share is pornography or to incite violence. And they said other
porn star status.
And we were like, no problem at all. We don't want any of that shit on our program anyway. So, nor do we want the people in the audience, or But what I really, really, really like about Rockfin is unlike some of the other things we're looking at, is that they have sports. They have the wrestling. They have the football, the soccer. They have the politics. It's not just, even though it's free speech, and they have group called Open Discussion or Free Mind, it's not an echo chamber where, again, if we get a group of us over there and you get the views going and people see that we're trending, you're going to get new audience.
They don't throw you down into a little empty hall by yourself for everybody to find you, and that's all that's there. You get,
and that's all that's there on YouTube right now. Of course, that really is all that's on us for YouTube.
They stick you over in the corner with everybody else, and y'all stay over there. We're not going to let you play with amongst the rest of us, right?
And not only can you not play amongst the rest of us, but even when you play amongst yourself, we're going to watch you.
I know, like we're doing here with our little small intimate family, and now they're fucking with us, Hey,
and we're going to
camera go off. I'm sorry, YouTube. I didn't mean to turn my camera off here. Let me adjust my camera.
whole computer just shut down. Like it just restarted.
I saw that, sir. I saw you come back. Welcome back. And I know that we haven't heard from Allison a bit. She's talking to us in chat, but she hasn't talked to us on the call a bit. I know she was having some audio
wind issues. Yeah.
And so I see her though. She's happy and waving. And as you guys obviously have seen, and we meant to mention, but again, hey, we're having a great conversation. Tommy, that flat fellow, got where his destination. He's back to work, but we will definitely want to mention in just 23 hours. Yes, that is correct. Over on his channel, that flat fellow, which I will link to you in a minute, the Flat Earth Variety Show. I can't wait, guys. I actually am going to be home this weekend specifically to check that out. The link is coming your way in chat right now. So Tommy, thank you, sir, for all you do and all you've been doing, and keep doing it. I'm pulling out my puppets here any day now. I'm kidding. I'm not a puppet. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I streamed on Odyssey before, but I couldn't get it to work recently. And then I realized that you see they have levels now. So like how you can go support a video or a stream you're watching, or like a channel, you can go support that channel. You have to have so much support to be able to stream, but like you can just go take your credits and boost your own channel up. It's pretty cool. So like
well, that is cool. I didn't know you could do that. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So, and then that helps you be more visible and stuff too, if you have a higher rating.
We'll have to talk sometime. I mean, or we can talk about it now, I guess. Tell everybody else, because I'm definitely learning it. I know I saw some people, including yourself, mentioning the chat's a little unwieldy, a little wonky. And I remember that early on with the
Odyssey's decent. The Rockfin one is kind of rough.
Oh, is it Rockfin? See, again,
yeah, Rockfin.
Trying to get to it.
Yeah, Rockfin is, I don't know, it's got a lot of good things going, but it's still very much a it's still very new in some areas. So they just put on the Android app and that. And so if you join in and go on their Android app, it's not forwarding the chat. They have different issues they're working on, but they are working on it, and even some of the channels sorts. But we've been getting a good audience over there and a lot of support. And the fact that, again, now Rose is over there, Jaron is over there, Baldini is over there, Karen is over there. Everybody, I mean, Jason, everybody is over there. So again, if you subscribe, the subscription gets you a firewall. But once you're over there, you can watch anybody and everybody. And you can do a combination of free and premium shows, which makes it nice. But what it does by opening it up and doing that is again, you don't get your stream shut down like you did. We don't have the constant worry about losing the channel, losing things as you build it up. And mostly, more than anything, we can speak freely. Odyssey and DLive and Library so far, we haven't had too much issues with it, but we also haven't had the response we've had on Rockfin, and they don't have the way you're streaming live. It doesn't seem to have as good of an interface that Rockfin. Again, I want to get Sam Adams. I want to get these people's audiences. I want them. Again, I don't want to just live in an echo chamber that only the people that do it can find. I want the other people to come over, look. I want more people to learn, to get exposed, to see what's going on, to wake up. It's time to wake up.
Speaking of that, Cammy, Bob was on High Impact Flicks the other day with that dude Brian from High Impact Flicks channel. He's got a huge audience, of not like flat Earth people at all, but he was very, very open and receptive to that. And that I thought was really, really cool. And then who else? He made it somewhere else recently that I thought was pretty big, if I'm not mistaken, but it could have just been that one. But
that Killer Priest podcast.
Yeah. That thank you. I knew it was something else I watched. Killer Truth Seeker was another channel. If that's not the same channel, is that the same guy or what? Truth Seeker. All right, so it must be three then, because you just, I don't know why that made me think of the channel name. I was thinking of that, but Truth Seeker. He's again not a flat. Well, I think he is a flat earther, but he kind of like didn't want to have his audience flat earth eyes because he knows he'll lose subscribers. That's what he said. He wants to watch other people lose a whole lot of their base
Mhm.
just from coming out with it. And so he's like, I just, I don't want to do it. But Dave was on there talking, make a lot of sense. But High Impact Flicks, they talked for like 2 hours, and he's like, dude, I want you back on, like,
Right.
So,
But again, as we get more channels and more things mainstream where they're interacting, again, Sam Tripoli is their tinfoil hatter, creator of Delbert. Again, just all different mixtures of people. As you make it more that is available, and they can see that the Flat Earth content is not vile, it's not scary, it's not. In fact, it makes a whole lot of sense. Again, they're taught right now, if they hit YouTube and search for Flat Earth, what you get is really, really despicable and retarded and ridiculous. But again,
like that.
you get, I mean, Sam Tripoli's tinfoil hatters, audience, and some of the tinfoil hatters, those are going to be easy to go for. But you have 1 Foot in 5D and some other, Dave Weiss is also on their channel on Conspiracy Cast. But you have all of these channels that you have a pretty easy opening with. But you also have a lot of political people and commentators and sports figures that, again, if they're exposed to good content, are going to make the connection just because of being in the type of things they are. They're going to think the wrestlers not the sports talk amongst themselves. Look what you did to St. Louis and the Cardinals. I mean, Josh.
Right.
You get them talking, look at stuff, Carpenter, look at the people talking. A lot of people are talking, and most people are talking, saying that I agree, but I can't go out and say it because I'll lose an audience. Let them see that we get audiences of thousands of people watching, and maybe you'll gain more than you'll lose. And again, get this ball rolling. And YouTube's not going to let it happen. Rockpin, we're hoping we can grow it to make it happen, but it at least has a lot of people in a lot of different areas jumping over, in a very diverse group that reaches out to a lot of people. And when they're reaching out on Rockpin, they're doing the same as us. They're reaching out on other different platforms too. But supporting any of them helps support, I feel like, again, subscribing one, getting everybody and trying to support the idea of free speech is the only way we're going to grow and get bigger. Anytime you do it, that's going to be completely for free. They're going to pull the carpet out from under you, because they're going to say, guess what? We're providing the platform and the different things. We're going to entice you this way, let you get the audience. But we don't like what you're saying. It's right now going to, again, right now they're doing it with medical, where it's considered medical misinformation, even if it's cited as truth, even if the facts are in that direction. If it's not what they want to put out, they can categorize it that much. Alongside our scientists writing articles saying that they need to be taking control of not only health, but climate control, other science issues, because they really, much like health and them taking the lead on this, they should have the lead. They're the experts in everything. So no, that is coming. So your same filtering that's coming on medical is going to come on any type of opinion that you have. You look at the sky and you even say that I'm having a dream vision through the sky. Well, they could put that as astral misinformation for you wanting to talk about your dream, because it's not going to meet their mainstream astronomy, because now they've classified it as misinformation. And if you think I'm joking about this coming, no, watch what they're doing carefully with the medical right now, and how they can skew it, and how, again, they can block it. So it's really important to try to get past that. The other thing on Rockpin is running on blockchain. So it's running outside of the system a little bit too, and it adds a little bit of level of freedom to it.
Would you say, Cam, is the best alternative platform to stream on, like Flat Smack stuff that I do, that would run on the blockchain? Is there any live streaming blockchain?
I can ask around and get the right. I mean, I've done that to fine tune into this, and then I just literally drop that information out of my brain. It's I feel like Kelly Bundy. Sometimes it's useless. Make room for real information, because I'll use it. Just like, again, I know Jaron Campanella was very, very excited. He came up with something that was cheaper, that would pay for itself, because it's cheaper than Restream on a yearly subscription, but it has Restream and all of the capabilities of streaming to all of the different platforms, and the audio and everything in an effortless platform. Josh, you should Do you want me to get the name of it? I'll walk in the
get
other
it.
room.
Let us know.
Hold on.
We're
Let me see if I can get the name of it.
That's fine. It's no rush. Just
This is, yeah. I'll walk in and see if we're awake in the next room. Hold on.
Cool.
You guys talk a minute.
Cool deal. Cool deal.
Restream is really going to help to get everything I'm doing, no matter what, seen in so many places. And I'll eventually get,
Dude.
people from Twitch chatting and everything.
What do you have going on behind you? I have to ask.
Oh, actually, this is a background that has a bunch of filters on it. But if I remove the filters,
we talked about this on one of our shows way back.
It's really just a black night sky with some snow particles coming through.
Go back to the red.
When I chroma key it, put red edge detection and tunefy it, it shows up like that.
Maybe it was Lucas I talked about with this. I'm not sure. A couple people on the show. It's been so long, but we talked about how, trying to see this reality and the things that make up this reality, and how as a child and still now, but even like I noticed it as a child. I can remember noticing it in the crib, holding the railing, that when I would close my eyes, I could see red dots doing exactly what you're doing, but they would also do this murmuration thing where they would coalesce into a little group and move over here and coalesce into another group, go over there, just like birds do when they're doing the murmuration. And when I saw your screen, when you talked and it got big, it freaked me out. It looks almost like that, except they're all uniform. They're not different sizes like the animation. They're all uniform particles, but that's kind of what I always, even then, remember thinking, well, that's what's making up everything. Crazy. Sorry, that just freaked me out.
Triggered. That's cool. It's cool. I wish I could see energies. That would probably help me a lot with the stuff that I'm interested in and do. But I don't specifically see energies. I sense it,
You feel it. I knew that's what you were going to say. You feel it.
Yeah, I put my hand over you, and I don't even want to know where the pain is. I just, if they got a pain, a back pain, a shoulder pain, I'm like, don't tell me which one. I don't even want that input to mess with my senses. And I usually, can't remember a time I've been wrong. So, pretty accurate. And what was I going to say about that? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say just the idea again of this, seeing the energy, and then that we're immersed in it, that we're like literally floating in that energy field all the time. That's what we are, as part of that energy field. Go ahead.
So I had this experience that happened where I was in a prayer circle. One of these things I really didn't want to do, but this group was doing it, so I was in there, and we're all holding hands and we're praying, and I'm like real uncomfortable, but I'm giving it a go, and I'm it's all about it's good love and light Jesus kind of prayer, but very religiously Christian-y, and I don't vibe with that thing stuff. So I'm like having a hard time, but I'm doing this. I'm holding everybody's hand in this big circle, and when I walk out that room, I guess it'd be the first time I've ever maybe seen energy, but I couldn't deny what I was saying, and I can't explain it. I had like a 3-inch glow coming off my whole body. It was like this yellowish, goldish glow. Yes, and I was rubbing my eyes. I was going into different lights and outside the sun. And I'm like, dude, I can't knock this. I can't get rid of this glow. I'm looking at other people that don't have it. I'm asking them if they see it. They don't see it. I'm like, I'm going crazy. So that's one of my experiences personally, I guess, where I might have seen energy. Then I stayed up for like 4 days almost straight. And I think I started seeing things coalesce, kind of like if I stare at them long enough, I was able to move them. If I reached out to touch them, I could feel them touching my finger and then coming inside me on a whole different energetic level. Kind of was weird. I didn't know if I was seeing ghosts or demons were messing with me or something crazy. I'm like, I might get some sleep, but this is pretty interesting. If this is going to tear down that veil and allow me to see energy, I don't want to go to sleep. But that's an experience. But what I really wanted to say, jogged my mind, is I was in, after this golden glow thing happened, it got me thinking about Reiki and energy, and I decided to show a friend of mine in there something with his hand. I was like, hold out your hand and let me do this. Let me see if you feel this. And he was like, oh, what are you doing? He's curious. Well, somebody else walked in the room. This was like 3 a.m. And this other guy walked in the room. Thankfully, he was a friend of ours too. And we just like this in the corner of the washroom or whatever. And he's like, dude, what is that? I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, this white cloud of smoke up in the middle of your hands. Like, what is that? I was blown away. Like, dude, you could see it. And my friend was like, I feel it. And he was entranced. And then this dude walks in. He's like, what is that smoky white?
And this is full consciousness awareness. That's what's astounding.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I wish
at
I
my
could see
best, during like the whole height of back in the day of the book, Celestine Prophecy. During that height of that, and I read it and was into the practicing of looking at trees, plants, people to look for the gray first, the outline of the aura, to learn how to energy and work on that. And then I started slowly, maybe getting a tinge of it not being quite so gray. It never got colorful for me. In consciousness, now you take that into, altered states of either out of body or astral, and it's a whole different story of what that goo around people that, like you say, you can't get it off. It's a membrane almost.
And rainy looking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Weird. First time, but I was waking consciousness seeing this after a prayer.
I know, this is what is blowing me away that y'all, and the guy walked in unaware of any of it and saw it. That's even more sad.
And yeah, that's just like either that same night or whatever that experience happened. It just re-sparked my interest in the whole energy thing at that time, and I wanted to show somebody something. After that, I had to kind of like, because I told him I'm glowing, and he's like, I don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. And I think it was later on that night. I'm like, I'm not crazy. Let me show you something. And he was like, oh, it's interesting. And then the dude walks in. Oh, what the hell? That blew me away. If I could see what I'm doing with energy, I mean, might be a force to reckon with, I guess.
It might actually mess you up though, as you are more like intuitive with it. It seems. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I guess so. Like people that are blind can smell and hear better, or stuff like that. I'm better at sensing it, maybe because I can't see it.
Possibly. So, I mean, is the idea of the Reiki energy word, the idea of that connectedness, again, seeing the dots, thinking about the way I manipulate my chakra, especially the heart chakra, when I'm doing any kind of protection for, mostly around here in the house for us. A lot of times things are, seemingly not settled at night around sometimes, especially when we're both emotional, Shell and I. And so when I'm doing that work and the particles I use to create in my mind, and I know this all sounds so crazy, but it's these green platonic solid. It is I wrote about it this morning in our show description. It is one of the
dodecahedron, icosahedron, dodecahedron, was it?
No, it's the
icosahedron.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and look what they call it. It's the double pyramid stuck together.
Octahedron. Okay, that's an octahedron. Yeah. So you're saying octahedrons.
But the reason
that's a conductor
is because they can intertwine so well. They can create a shield. They can fly apart. They can do whatever I need them to do. And I know this all sounds crazy, but this is something I've been doing since literally teenage years, before I knew anything about any of these other things. This was just stuff me and a buddy worked out and started working on and figuring out how to do. And it was like, well, let's use it. Let's create it. Just kind of like what you're talking about, Horry, where you're just like, well, let me see if I can do this with a buddy in here. What are we doing? And I think that's part of it too. Anytime 2 or 3 are gathered, hello, it's the energy. It's like when we all gather together here doing these shows and suddenly we've been at it for 4 hours and like, what the hell? We just started talking. Or in the morning when we're on our 3rd break and the show's almost over and that last 30 minutes is a blip. I mean, we're doing something to the fabric around us, and to do it consciously, like you're talking about, and like I used to play around with my buddy and have learned to have to use for protection. It just has to speak to the immersion that we are in this field, this electromagnetic field. Where are you at, Lucas? Help me here. Yeah, you know more about the electromagnetic crap.
Well, that's part of this sort of gravity subject where we're in this electric field for sure. So and there's been lots of experiments, people running wires up into the air, and so I think it's when you're looking at electricity and how electricity is created, you're looking at the fundamental basis of how our world's created. So if you're using your mental faculties to, correlate or, work with that type of understanding, then you're going to be in the creative field and be able to manifest. I just, they go hand in hand. So electricity is the polarity, and it really comes back to this idea of the Trinity again. Looking at your isohedron, you got the triangles there intermeshing. Well, that's basically the Trinity. So
Right.
you're dealing with polarity, and you're dealing with that balance point between the polarities. And this was a big part of the old world of how to understand our world through this Trinity concept. And I think it has a lot to do with how we understand energy, understand ourselves, and apply ourselves and see how we fit together with this energetic world. So I think it all meshes together. So it's just a process of relearning and seeing what works and what doesn't work.
And that's what we're doing. That's all we're doing here.
Yeah, I want to play on this one too, if you don't mind, on it with your dreams.
Go ahead.
Okay, so your octahedron.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Oh, what's up?
Tell me where the tips on and
Hang
off.
on, I'm trying to get big to the picture again because
Okay.
I was back talking in chat. In chat.
Tell me where
Go back to the
the tips.
Oh man, that is amazing. Mine are a little more green, but there it is.
Here's your green octahedron. I don't have it a little bit greener here, but tell me on your green octahedron, were your tips on or off? Were they, think of on the pyramids where they truncate the tops off or not? Did it have fine tipped, or did it
A little more
off?
elongated.
A little bit more elongated.
A little more elongated. And I mean, like, as you would do if you had, hold it up again. So if you had 8 more of those and met sides, it would become a solid, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
And then if you took 2 sides and 2 sides, you could take 2 sides all the way out and make a wall. Or if you put
you
3 together and then 6 together, and you can make a tip and it becomes a weapon. And I would just play with them and manipulate them.
Now you're doing it, and you're doing this with the energy in your dreams,
they would twirl,
right?
and well, this
they
is
were twirl,
astral and play.
Okay.
When you realize you have these centers that are energetic, when you kind of look down at the blob you've become, and they're swirling, and
right now remember
in one direction, and some are like,
this is important,
like fires, and it's kind of.
It's important to pay attention
more
to.
Than I ever have about this stuff, I guess, because Horace here and knows more about what I'm talking about too. And I'm sure.
No, I know what you're talking about, but you need to remember what I said about choices and everything being choices, and without people making choices all the time without even realizing that they're making choices. Your shape here that you're working with on energy is very powerful, because the way an octahedron, if you look it up electrically and do it into things, it's a perfect conductor augmenter. This is the shape that, again, if you have a magnet in any shape, you'll notice the magnetic field is the same. But if you put the magnet in this shape, all of a sudden it works like a nozzle, augmenting.
I thought about magnets.
Funneling and augmenting, the same with the other crystals. In other words, this shape is of a diamond. This is a diamond. When you wonder why it's called a diamond, it grows like this naturally. It's the most common crystal habit for a diamond, but it's a perfect conductor and augmenter of energy. So you're pulling energy lines and you're pulling them into this shape and building with energy. So pay attention to what you're building and be careful to what you're building, because if you do the electronics or the conductivity, or just, again, the actual physics behind the shape, it has a lot of meaning. And I don't discount what you see about seeing energy, because I've always seen energy. I see between the trees. I see.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful spot.
You see like around rocks when you have like beautiful crystals, and that just, again, an energy. And it's almost the easiest way to say that I could is more intense than a heat wave. A heat wave is more, to me, like a heat wave would be like if you took an LP record and made the grooves out further and less perfect, or this. It's much more denser. It's much more coherent in the patterns. And it has a color field to it. It has a whole sensation to it. But yeah, I do see the energy things. But when you're dealing with shapes, the shapes people aren't taught. We're not taught anything. But this shape again is a ictahedron. Your sacred geometry there is important because it has its function, and its function is conductor, augmenter. And you make it a dipole. It's very, very powerful as a magnet. But
this all, like I said, was just instinctive and came as the years of these things occurred. I had to learn how to deal with them, and some of it was kind of like that whole thing where you got to be careful the doors you open. You got to be careful what you wish for. You got to be careful.
That's what I'm telling you is pay attention to where you're playing. If you can go astral,
you got to have some things with you sometimes to protect you, and that was, like I said, one of the quick ones that happened.
That's a powerful protective ring that you drew across without meaning. You couldn't do it more powerful if you studied. And this is like when you saw the little girl draw and said, where is it coming from? And you're building an energy in something that you could not draw a more efficient circuit. I mean, you could not draw a more efficient augmented circuit than putting that octahedron and funneling it there. Where does that come from? And yet you see and you do it. Where is this coming from?
That idea where too of letting go, that flow thing. So just I mean, truly, it's again silly, but the idea of imagination and creativity. So when I was a kid reading comic books, my favorite beyond any hero was Green Lantern because of that ring. That ring could do anything. He could form it into anything. So I guess that's why instinctively the crystals were green, but also the heart chakra was green, and that's kind of where they seem to be coming from. Hi, are you hungry? I have a guest that just walked in. If y'all hear her. Hi. Yeah. Okay, I'll go feed her in a second. Okay. But anyway, just the idea of the creativity of thinking that I could do that. Why can't I shape energy if that's what I see? And
you can.
Creativity. Imagination. That's what they, try to cut off early is just stare at a screen and forget creativity. Just make it happen out here. You don't need to make it happen in here. And that's where it's all happening. All right, give me a second, guys. Let me go feed her. Rizzo wants attention. I shall return.
I know that you got to watch what you do with energy, especially after that impromptu exorcism and experience with a potential demon possession. Which I just found out last night. I was on YouTube seeing if anybody else had just typed in Reiki and exorcism. And sure enough, there was a video about a lady talking about her journey through learning how to do Reiki. And she was put in a church somewhere out in, I think, India, some impoverished country rather. And they, she was doing healing on like 20 people. And this one lady she did a healing on, all of a sudden had her neck start twirling like a snake. And she was like doing all this. And it happened on the spot during a healing. I thought that was really interesting because it happened with me. And intuitively, she had to ask, like, what she did. She's never done anything to help this dude. She's never done this kind of healing before. And she like heard from the voice. She channeled a download of what to do, and she did it. And I understand that feeling, especially when it comes to intuition and this energy stuff. It happened to me like 3 different times. But I learned also I got to watch what I do when I just do random parlor tricks. I had a lady that came to visit my my family on my brother's side, and she had heard stories about I would go out of body, I do energy stuff. So she really wanted to meet me, and my family had always made fun of me for this stuff. And she said, they were telling her, oh, it's you can't believe in that stuff, huh? You believe in that? Oh my God, they made fun of her a little bit. But she asked me to try something, and I did this parlor trick on her where I just made her hands tingle. I made a real tingly ball for her to put her hand into, and she's one of those people that's like, whoa, she kind of yanked that out, and she's like, oh, I still feel it tingling. Wow, that's cool. Wow. And then they all went on a hayride in my back pasture, like tractor, hayride, trailer, the whole nine. And they get back about 40 minutes later. She's running off the trailer to come and see me and take it out. It was still tingling and driving her crazy for the whole ride. And that was the first taste of like, oh, I gotta watch what I do, with this energy stuff.
Well, perhaps because of what I've dabbled in, perhaps because just, that's how things work out, attraction, whatever it is. But I tend to have had some ladies in my life in the past who were very attached or had things attached. And that was part of the learning how to make this external, because playing with it early on was just me playing with it, learning, and nothing was really that drastic until they kind of would bring these things into our home or whatever. And I would be like, okay, I got to deal with these fuckers. I can't have this all the time. So I got to figure out what to do with this out there. And give me a minute, guys. I've got to go. She's all under me meowing. Give me a minute.
Okay. And besides, that's easy to carry on with, because the energy that you bring into it is the energy you are going to receive. If you leave yourself wide open and you leave yourself vulnerable and then go down, fight, or do something and attract that type of negative energy, a lot of things will go wrong really quickly around you. And I think we've all had that type, where it stumbles. But again, pay attention. You have a lot of control in this, a lot more than most people ever stop and realize. It's all there for you to look at. You just have to ground yourself, take your shoes off, get away from the computers and the TVs and stuff, and really ask, because right now the answers are coming through. I can tell you that, like for documented numbers, because we do take documented numbers, our magnetic shielding between right now is very light right now, and what they would call the ULA counts and energy counts are high, and our ground energy field is very low. We have some like really interesting conditions going on where you would have to say, looking at them, one way to say that is the veil is very thin right now, that you can send and receive information really, but you can do it without knowing that you're doing it. You can cause harm without knowing that you're doing it, or good. Again, be careful. If you're that open, be careful what mood and where you are when you're like opening yourself up to it and playing in that. My respect is off of the chart for, I see the energy and things around. My respect is off of the chart for this, that not to use it. I'm given hands, I'm given different pieces, observe what's going on, and be smart, but be careful before dabbling in what you don't understand, because your consequences can be very unintended. And in other words, grow up a little bit before you play with it. And if you play with it like a child, you'll leave yourself open and get hurt. So again, be careful with these things. I'm aware of them, but it's a respectful level, that going out and playing all of the time, astral, and that I protect, I pray, and ask for guidance. I also visually set up shields around in this and ask for guidance and good energy. But again, when you open yourself up to things, you'll get where you are. And if you open yourself up in frustration and in desperation, in anger, despair, any of these things you open yourself up to, if you have this type of sensation, it's going to come back at you. And Hori, you'll know this. Again, you're open, things will come back at you intense and hard. That's why you learn the lessons you do in the hard ways that you do sometimes, is you leave yourself wide open to it, because you're not paying attention. I mean, you're not paying it. You see it, you see the lights, and you sense things, and you feel things, and you're trying to control it. But I mean, be very, very respectful. That mostly you can let bad in with good. And so your mood and your intention and where your vibration is at the time really, really makes more of a difference than I can say. And again, it's when you tend to be angry or things like that, that you might want to reach out and open yourself in anger and make things, send lightning bolts towards people. And that's the exact wrong time that it should be taking place. If you're dabbling in it and practicing with it, you should be in a mood as a child, and a cautious child wanting to do no harm, like with something so beautiful and so loving.
Yeah, love. I was just gonna say, love seems to be the biggest amplifier. And when I'm channeling, when I add love to the mix for a healing for somebody, I mean, I believe I saved a man from his deathbed with like
you did
love for
pure
that
love.
man, and what he was doing for me at the time was like put me up in a place. and I loved him for that. And to see him on his bed with death breath and double pneumonia in each lungs, and the doctor's telling us, "Hey, you guys get to say goodbye. You ain't making it in the morning." And I'm like, "Oh no."
Miracles happen all around, and you're right. You saw it, and you did with the energy. We influence with our magnetic field. And if you're feeling and seeing these things, your magnetic field is pretty strong and open. I'm saying people have different influences that they're putting out.
I've had people tell me, like, what is this crazy feeling around me, and or if I touch them, sometimes they'll say, "Wow, that's like a tingle, an electric feeling."
A spark.
These are mostly my female partners, and like when we'd be intimate, they would be like, "What is this vibrating, like throbbing, like something in the air?" And they wouldn't know it was just tantric energy and things like that. And the ones that are super sensitive, one of them asked me, "Can you turn it down, turn it off?" I'm like, "Wow, okay." So I've had to definitely tune it up or down, and I'm very respectful with it. I really don't do any of that send bad energy juju to people, because I just don't want to lose the gift, and I respect it in that way. Yeah, and something about protecting myself. I've always hated like looking into ways to do that, because I've always felt that my belief is my most powerful weapon going into anything energetically and on the astral. So if I believe I don't need help, I am as powerful as anything else. It can only equal me. But when I dealt with this demonic entity, I was able to pull it right out and throw it out the window. And the person calmed down, and it looked all good. And then I sensed oh my God, it was the same feeling I think you would get if you all of a sudden opened a door and a stranger that you just kicked out of your house was holding a shotgun straight to your face. And it was like an intense fear, dread, like holy shit energy. And it started coming back into the room, and I instantly knew what it was, and I just kind of kept my mouth shut, thinking that maybe they won't feel it. And I was wrong, because it went right back into the source of that body. And then once I had fear, it was a little bit of fear. That was just all it took to take that whole body over completely. And that was walking and talking differently, and hit me in the face.
And it will hit you in the face, and it will make you think of something that makes you angry, and hyper focus on what it is about it that makes you angry.
And it couldn't. Check it out. It hit me in the face twice, right in the eye, smack in the eye. And you know what I did? The first time it hit me, I didn't budge. I didn't move. I didn't get angry. I said, "Hey, come on now. Watch my meat shield, man." You know, that's my literal exact words. I didn't even show any anger, and that made it even angrier to hit me again. And that's when I protected myself, just by grabbing the hands. And so I overpowered the demon. I overpowered it like a toddler couldn't even, like a toddler and adult strength versus ratio. And it's not the first time I've had that superpower over the person, as if they were just this weak toddler, to expel the energies in the past. So, I mean, it's an interesting pattern there as well.
And nobody likes the honey badger mentality more than me. Nobody likes to be the honey badger.
Where's that?
Fuck off.
Yeah, what is that? What's a honey badger thing? What?
Oh, you don't know the honey badger? Oh my God! And I'm scared to make you play the video.
I would love to. Definitely, as big as it is, I'm sure it's got 1,000 algorithms strapped to it.
Honey badger don't give a fuck.
Google it after we get off here. Honey badger don't give a fuck.
Honey badger don't give a fuck. And I love
playing GTA with Zach. He is a fucking honey badger.
Honey badger.
I just turn him loose on everybody. Anyway, but yeah, I walked into the end half of that conversation there.
So
Corey,
why?
Wild, man.
The honey badger. Why you do that? And you don't care in that. I still don't take the thing with you that I'm going back in tougher. I don't think I'm scared. I don't know if I'm the toughest. And the one area that I will dabble in a little bit in what you would call sorcery or crystals or protection, and it is really the only area I will dabble is in protection, in gridding and asking for protection, and it is asking Dad and with like guidance on alignment, help me align the energy and the grid to keep the energy positive. But definitely I feel like I am the target under attack. Sometimes I really do feel things are trying to come in, attack and come into it. And I want my household, my children, my family. So I do ask and I pray. I ask and I pray for it. And so I will in an interesting way go there, but on the opening as the honey badger, saying I'm the toughest person out there. Again, I'm more of a child. I'm more of a daddy's girl, saying
Right, until they mess with your babies.
Until they, so it's like okay, I'm not gonna mess with you, but daddy, please help protect. You're right. Until they mess with my, and I get scared of them messing with my babies or my family or my stuff.
Over the years with my family, it definitely seemed to be the attacks were always centered for the female in my family, my sister. That's literally what I first remember, is protecting her from the insect men that smelled like burning hair. And I would have to hide her from them. And that's, early. My brother wasn't even around yet. So this would have been, I was 2. So fast forward, every cousin of mine has had missing kids, like from the womb, not like missing in the woods. But the attacks that I had with the ladies that I was talking about earlier in my life, one of which during one of the Reiki, trying to help her with some issues with her back, found a real strange spot and started kind of working on it. And then suddenly something was holding me down in the fucking bed. And I had never experienced anything like that in conscious life. Never had that physical of an attack in like conscious life.
It's scary not to feel the move. It's scary. It's terrifying. I've done it.
Females get these attacks seems to be, I think, related to the reproduction and that portal that is created for our soul that they can slip through if they're wily enough and get in there and try to, or attach, or whatever you want to call it. That's why they're so attacked. The attack seems to be centered at the female side of things a whole lot more than us. We seem to be the protectors and the warrior side of it, I guess. Not that man, I know some ladies kicking ass.
No,
in the astral plane. Don't get me wrong.
I hear what you're saying, but no, I feel like I should be protected. I feel like I should be protected, and even with you or anybody, and Dad, it's there is something that again I pray for. And I am somewhat of a warrior. I'm not a sissy girl, I don't think. And yet every instinct in my body says, you guys even pray for me and help protect me. Add your prayers and add your thoughts. So, Walt, it's funny. I don't think of it as chauvinistic being a girl. It feels
the way things are.
Right.
Like that's why we have the balance and back to the anode.
Right.
We were talking about earlier, male and female.
Well, one of the things that I guess helps to instill this belief that I am somewhat protected. There's some shield around me. It must be because the guy that taught me how to go astral, and I thought he was crazy. And back in the day, this guy. He was really mad and out of anger was telling me the story about he's cutting up all these letters for his girlfriend and mailing them back. And he had this pen pal girlfriend. And I'm like, hey, you should calm down and, I don't know, meditate or something, bro. And I just threw that out there and I didn't even know what meditation was. And he comes back with, I astral project, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what is that? So he teaches me how to do it. And back up. I asked him to kind of prove it to me because I was like, you must be crazy. And he's, no, I'll come and see your house. I'll do this or that and show you this or that. I'll tell you what I see. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, buddy. And he does it like right there in the same conversation. He says, just give me a few minutes. So I sat there and I'm like, okay. Well, he got back. Short amount of time, he told me this is before like YouTube, Google. This is before satellite view, anything. This was like MySpace time, maybe just before MySpace time. I mean, we were chatting on ICQ. Okay. So, the guy, tells me my house is this, brick house, black mailbox, has a green car. I'm like, dude, wait, we don't have a green car. And I went outside. No, never mind. We do have a green car in my driveway. Turned out it was my brother's friend. And I had no other cars that I owned in the driveway. So he was correct on things that I didn't even have a clue about. And then he tries to touch me. He says he couldn't get close to me. It was like my spirit was repelling him like a magnet. And he'd never experienced that before because he could touch anybody on the shoulder or tap people. But me, he couldn't even get close. So like a 5-foot radius. And then, so he just knocked the cup over on my desk. I saw that thing fly off. And that's when he came back to the computer and was like, okay, I'm back. Did you see that cup? Or whatever? I'm like, that was you? So he told me all the stuff. And so I must have a bubble or something protecting me. And all I know about that is I've been asked twice, 2-3 times by a friend that had a haunted house, and she was getting whispers straight in her ears and things, that she didn't like. things that we're saying. And she asked if I could help. So I don't know. I'll try something. Again, I always experiment with this energy, what we can do. And so I sent a big ball of white light and love to her house and just filled her whole house up with pure God love. And I put white spikes on the end of it just in case of white spikes of love. But the danger sign, a getaway, I'll love you to death thing. And it worked. It worked for a couple of months at a time. And then I guess dissipated. Awesome. Yeah. So we can do this. I just twice I did it.
Just do it.
Call me back
basically
again
what
and
it boils down to. You can just do it.
It's like pretending really hard and it works.
Well, that's back to the imagination thing and the Green Lantern ring. I mean, that's part of the battle. I have to do this real quick before you go. You ready? Ori, you ready? Ready? You ready? Uh-oh.
Yes.
When you
said such an exciting sound.
Dude, when I played it for myself to make sure it was right, I went, oh shit, I got a message. Yeah, I was pumped up. Oh, let me stop sharing. Oh man, stop. Okay. That's awesome.
No, I love that sound. I remember my number 13147.
Oh Lord, there you go.
Like, why does that stick in my head? It's longer than my social, right?
It was creator. I was creator's master tape. I can't remember the number though. I'll have to go back and look. Anyway, yeah, we're all flashing back here. What, Lucas? I'm sorry. I was just flashing back. Or I thought you started to say something, man. I'm sorry. I mean,
I'm just listening in.
Sorry. I thought you said
sort of thinking as the show progresses.
Is the coffee kicking in at all? Or you're waking up?
Dude, it'll be fired up.
Yeah, I'm awake.
Because it's like, what time is it there? It's like 10 o'clock or whatever. It's time for me to get up.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
10:30 or something like that. So.
Right. It's morning. Yeah.
Right. That's key time right here.
Key time right there. That's my fave. Coffee time.
Yeah, it's just this subject I'm sort of familiar with and sort of not. It's been something that I haven't really propelled myself into. So it's I've had experiences growing up and things like that, but it's not something I just wanted to go into. I didn't want to be distracted from, other things, I guess. So it's not necessarily that it's just latent, I guess, rather than being something that's active in my life. So I'm just enjoying the little stories.
Coffee.
I can say, watching what we do as far as angry or emotions like anger is involved when you're trying to do any of this astral stuff. Cammie, you're definitely right about that, because the first time I ever went out of body, it was the 7th day of me trying the same technique he had taught me how to do, and I got a little progress each night but kept falling asleep. So I was getting real angry about that. And all of a sudden, the 7th night, I realized I was about to fall asleep again. And so I start getting mad about it. At this point, I called out in my brain and just said, you know what? If this effing stuff doesn't work, then F it. I'm never trying it again. This dude's crazy, blah, 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 blah. And I literally really tried with all my might to, as hard as I could and best I could think of, to push myself right out. But it was a whole lot of mad energy. And it worked. I saw a vision popped out, like my chest sat up, or my eyes were all of a sudden not where my head was, but kind of where my belly button almost was. And what did I see? The scariest thing I've ever seen in an astral experience so far still was this big black, silvery black ball, looked like a black hole, sucking silver particles in it from all around it. And then also me into it. I started getting sucked into this black orb.
The Blob.
Bro, I was
horrifying movie.
I don't know what it was, Cammie, but I couldn't escape the situation. I couldn't scream. I wasn't making any noise. I couldn't move. I was slowly, my fingers and arms and joints, any bone I had wouldn't curve this way, it curved the opposite way. It didn't hurt. It just felt weird. And that scared the hell out of me. I woke up from that. I was all tingled and needles and pins and needles feeling and sweating. And a lot of people would say, I'm never doing that again. But me, no, baby. I want to do that again. So that whole fear thing, it don't work on me, man. Come on, baby. I'm going to show you I'm not fearless. And since then, I've never had that experience again. Nothing like that crazy.
Oh,
I guess.
It was the anger drawing into it. So once you knew how to do it, but again, be careful, because again, now with that energy, you can be angry and do things without paying attention. So I'm just saying, pay attention always.
It was feeding off my anger.
Always part of being a warrior. Intent. Allison wanted to mention something. Have you got yourself back in? Did you fight that storm off, lady?
Am I here?
You're here.
Oh well, yeah. Oh look, there I am. So there's somebody who I know I'm close. I'm kind of tied to this family energetically and spiritually, and let's see, somebody she's have very serious anger issues, right? Anger would just we were talking about the other night, and it would just like she wouldn't be thinking about anything, and anger would, come into her, right?
Yes,
and
that's how it works,
right? And she learned how to kind of deal with it. And then people would like be up her ass, ask her what's wrong and stuff, and she's like, "Just leave me alone," right? So she could go through it. And we were talking about this, and I was talking about, did it feel like a presence around you when this was going on? What was going on in your life? La la la. Well, we were talking, and see, now she'll go from 0 to screaming with her children, like just Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, like something just, and and I saw it. I mean, I didn't see it, but it's more from the anger to,
you can see in the eyes.
Anger.
You can see it in the eyes. The eyes give it away.
I can hear it. I can feel it. Okay, I can feel it.
Yeah,
okay, I can hear it. I can feel it. And I mean, but I want to be able to help her and her 5 kids.
So she needs
to,
she needs to pay attention to the energy. So because she has powerful energy and it's out of control. You leave yourself open, demons are going to fill your brain, and you're going to see what you're mad at, and you're going to see everything around that you're mad at in intensity and in hyper vision that could also be causing you, and you're going to then justify why you're mad because you see all of these things and you watch it. I mean, it's a demon buildup. It's feeding your demons is what I call it, is feeding your demons. And it's really is opening up yourself when you're not paying attention. It feels like somebody takes over the people. They're a whole different person. They really are. It's people that are open, not shielded. And
I know.
I dropped. Sorry, Allison.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I dropped something there in our chat for you, Allison. I put it in there for everyone, but it's specifically for you to read. Now, I would think for you to kind of filter this info through to her. This is pretty heavy next level stuff, but having spoken with you a few times, I get a very "you're ready, you can handle it" kind of vibe. So these steps that this person like talks about using, the love, the heart chakra, all these things for protection and to deal with some of these entities are things I had done instinctively over the years and was not able to really vocalize. There really were not words for me to explain what I was doing with these things. And reading his explanation of it really helps people. For everyone I've ever sent this to that's dealing with shit uses this, and it's really helped them. Now, it also goes into some of the things that are out there that attack and reasons they're there and who might be behind. And it gets a little deep and a little heavy and can really put not just fear, but maybe even draw attention to you because now you're aware of things. So be careful. Just be careful. As we've said numerous times, just be careful. Go into it with love and protection. And that's really what it's about.
And it's the more that the whole family, I mean, everybody, the whole, I love these people so much, but the more she's aware of or can see a light goes on, if I, say something that makes her, that she'll think and go, aha, it's like the more that she's, like realizing that shit's real, right? And that I can, just sense things or, read minds, whatever, not read minds, but you know what I'm saying? I can't express what I'm trying to say, but I think you know what I'm saying.
I do.
The more she's aware, the more
Right.
yeah.
The more she's self-aware of that, like when she's not, because when she's in an anger mood, everything will be about justifying the anger.
But
everything has
she's not. But she's not in the mood. She's not in the mood. Okay.
So when she's
she's just.
when
She will be having a conversation, and it'll flip like a switch. Like the default is screaming. The default is screaming.
Fire all weapons. I know that one. Yeah, that's fire all weapons mode. Again, her is becoming self-aware of like saying, her wanting to say, I want to change a little bit, and when I'm angry, what triggers me getting so mad right now. Again, that's hard. It's like an alcoholic or anything else, because she's going to be able to say, I get so mad and angry and I flip out so bad because, and she'll be able to come up with, like, again, all of those little demons feeding every possible reason and excuse that would defend why she's so angry, because that is what feeding your demon is justifying the anger. Anger is a choice. So maybe she just needs to learn that anger is a choice of a way to deal with something, and sometimes it's the right choice. I'm not saying anger should disappear and somebody hurts my family or that. Again, I'm not saying that anger should not go there, but it is a choice, and sometimes we go there without really, we go there as a default and as an adrenaline feeling, as opposed to really, if you looked at the reasons you're going there, like you're saying, she's going over there on little reasons and a little something can switch it. So again, it's having her wanting to analyze how her brain works. Good luck with that on it again, because usually it will be tricky. She won't think she's having a problem, because her big problem is she's spending all of her time defending why she's angry.
Oh, no, she doesn't. There's 5 kids between 5 and 12, right, that are her grandchildren that she's raising. And I mean, I see, and I can go up the food chain. I know her mother, right, and her I know the family dynamic that she grew up in, right, and I can see where, you know, generational stuff has been happening, and I can see the madness can stop now, right? Stop the madness, and there was 24 hours. There was no screaming, no yelling for 24-hour period, and we were all like, oh yay, you know, me and the 5 kids, it was great. But she never defends it to me, right? And it but I want to, and I'm fixing to, well, I will end up,
but you think that's what this is? I mean, because it could be other issues. Again, she could be just a whooping that job evil person, and again, enjoying just being bad. It could not be that she's unconsciously.
Oh, no.
She's a good person.
Yeah, I mean, she's not, you know, long suffering, you know, and patient, but then it's like there's, you know,
a switch. That sounds like the demon thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And because when we were talking about the anger that she used to deal with, right, that now her grandson is dealing with, and her great grandson is dealing with, right? But it's changed. It's not that anger anymore. Okay, it's gone to this screaming default. But it's different. It's not, you know, anger. It's well, I guess it could be anger too, but it's different. It just all of a sudden, because we were talking about it, right? Just, you know, I was asking her questions about how that, you know, what was going on, like in her body, when that would happen, and that is when it showed up, and all of a sudden, you know, and I was like, whoa.
Well, the chemicals.
I don't want to.
This really sounds like some sort of depression thing.
Whoa!
Flips a switch where it gets super defensive when it's being attacked or poked or trying to be rid of. Mm-hmm. Super angry and just goes into full force. Oh no!
Because I called it out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Right on.
So what you can do if you're a Reiki person, or you know somebody that wants to take on such a thing, I'm just telling you what can be done, because I know I've done it, was literally take this energy out of them, hold it in your hands and throw it away. That'll piss it off though. So I'm not saying that's the best thing to do. What you figure out after that is how to keep
I don't want to throw it to the cows across the street, or, you know, ended up in one of the kids, right?
There you go. One of the kids might be a problem, but the thing, you can easily get back in the same person. I know that much because I've seen it, and that shit was very scary, and it pisses that thing off, and you can't calm her back down to that other state when that thing takes over. It sounds like that thing takes over her in a flip of a switch, because that's what it's like. All of a sudden,
absolutely.
Does she walk or talk or stand, or her countenance change when this flip takes place? Does she talk differently or sound differently or walk differently as well? Or no? I'm sure there's something in her face, right, that changes, but I can feel it. Oh crap. Can you hear me? No. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we hear you fine.
Yeah.
But now you're muted.
But now we don't.
Now we don't hear you.
You're muted. I don't know where you're at, Allison. Come back to us.
She's in the middle of a storm. There's no telling.
Oh. Well, see, I'm trying to figure out, when I've seen this demonic possession happen with 2 different people and on 3 different accounts, there's a pattern of they look different and the eyes give it away. They sound even different. They have a lower or different tone of voice, and they walk different. They stand different as they walk different as well. All this changes about them. So I'm trying to figure out if a lot of these things are similar in her experience when she flips or not.
I can see it in her face a little bit, right? But it's more the energy, I can feel it. It's not the words, right? It's how they feel.
The energy still.
Right.
I'm playing devil's advocate here, but the energy still could just be her anger, and it could still be psychologically related. That would be on the better end of things, rather than demonic possession.
Right? Yeah.
Just the anger that she's angry about, you'll feel that too. The demonic anger energy comes with a sense of dread.
Well, that's the anger that she was dealing with when she was younger. Okay, that she could feel that come on. She didn't know, and that's what we were talking about.
I'm asking you, when you feel the energy coming off of her, do you feel a sense of dread, or do you just feel a sense of anger emanating off of her? Because it's definitely.
I want to split and get the fuck out. I want to get away from it. Yeah, big time.
Run because
and get in between her and the children.
Okay, so
I'm sorry.
So there's. I'm trying to figure out if it sounds like it's a. Sounds. It could go either way. Still, did you get any sense of another entity entirely, or another presence? Because I also got the sense of there was another being there, another presence I could put my finger on, but it was very evident through the way that they control how they moved and walked and sounded, that it was very obvious. But there was also that sense of another thing, another being. Did you get that as well when she flips?
You're muted again, Allison, by the way.
She's dealing with that storm.
Oh, there. Okay. Yeah, the storm mutes me. Every time I come back in, it mutes me.
Your bandwidth is low. That's what keeps happening.
Oh, well, it's because the storm's there. Now, I will be more aware, okay, to see this, right? To see if I can to sense another, because I'm so sensitive anyway. You would think I would have already picked that up, but I'm also connected to this family for 6 years. It's one of those synchronistic stories, Walt, big time. Yep. With these folks, and I know I'm supposed to be here probably with them and for them. I just know it. So, the 5-year-old, I've met her parents when she was in the womb, right? And March 16th is a big also birthday that is very prominent in my life area. Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now you're gone.
Oh man, now it's gone.
Now I am. Hello.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, well, I'm getting it now. I'm getting to where, mash the button and, wait for it to show up and then wait. Anyway, yeah, March 16th is big time with some circles around here and with this family too. So, Anyway, so there you have it. I want to do good, right? I don't want to run away. Like, I mean, I have left. I've had to get away from the whole, shebang, and the kids are used to it, right? So, which is, but because I'll get in the middle of it. I'm gonna have to one of these days, I think, but it'll be okay because I'm connected enough to them to where it won't get. Well, this is my family, these are my kids. Blah, 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 I don't think I want to get that anymore. So, but I'll get in the middle of shit if I have to.
Probably the safest advice I can give you from an energy standpoint is to send her love. Straight go up over there when she like that, and just put your hand on her chest and just be like, let me love you right now in this moment. But if you think she's gonna fucking throw a fist at you, then don't. But that might
I don't think she will.
Piss her off.
Yeah.
Gotta know her.
But, and I do, and I just don't want to be chicken, because
you can't have any fear. If you think you're gonna have an ounce of fear of
right.
what that happens, because when this thing took over my friend, we were just walking from the shed to the house, and she stops dead in her tracks, turns with her neck almost like an exorcist, and starts talking like, I'm like, pardon me. I said, "What the F is this?" But I didn't say this is all mental. And I got a download of exactly what I had to do. I just went straight over there. I put one hand here and one hand here, and I just guided her towards the ground. And as soon as I put my hands on her, this thing felt that love and that power, and it got to where it wanted to be let go of. So it grabbed my hands and tried to pry me off, and it had no strength. The edges were just touching me. It had no actual strength. It tried to grab my hands, push me away. It had no strength. I guided her to the ground, and I shoved that energy into the dirt. And then she'd come back to me. She had no memory of it at all.
Just you on top of her, on the ground.
Powerful. You were powerful. That's what I want you to get out of that. Is that it can't hurt you.
Oh yeah.
The other time this other girl hit me in the face when this thing flipped in her. Or after I pulled it out and came back in all pissed off, it then started manually, physically hitting me, and I didn't feel it. I was invulnerable to it. Completely didn't feel it at all. I just felt the impact. Amazing.
Interesting that you descended it into the ground.
That was intuitive.
Energy.
It was intuitive. The earth would disperse it. It would absorb it somehow, and Mother Earth would.
Right?
I learned a lot about stuff after that makes sense. But I didn't know anything about earth and grounding and energy dispersal and at the time. Still don't.
Well, when you're called, dude.
That's what I'm figuring out. I've been called for a lot of things and last night, that's why I was on the stream. I titled it Reiki Experiment because I was really trying to get on and see if I could work my way into a conversation and do my old high school parlor tricks with somebody's hand and see if they felt it. But I just couldn't get into that. But until the guy said, "Hey, I got a tooth pain. You can pull it out." I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's do that." And it worked. And I'm like, "Well, that's even better. It's even better."
I did a hand thing with a policeman one time when he was after he was off duty, and he called the Taylor PD because he thought I was drunk, and I wasn't. Very far from it. And it was because I was just it was one of those days, right? So he asked me, "Why are you so happy?" I said, "Do I need a reason?" And the old man took 2 steps back, and it hit him. But the police officer felt it. I was like, "Can you feel that?" And because we are airbender, firebender, rockbender.
And I'm not sure who did it, but thank you. Maybe it was Cammie because she said she wanted to do it, but my back neck thing has completely evaporated. Appreciate it.
Nice.
That's nice. That's really good. I visually did it. I didn't know to do no harm, but I'm guessing Hori maybe or somebody else. But yeah, I was worried about it.
I can't claim it.
I was worried about it.
Wherever. Even if it was self-help, I'll take it. It definitely needed it.
Can I throw some positive vibes TJ's way too? Just for shits and giggles?
Yeah.
And steady getting them. Every time I look up at him in his picture, I send him some good vibes.
Yeah, just seems like he's got some heavy shit going on there. There's a smile there, but it's not coming easily as it should. So, yeah, just all those healing vibes out there for TJ.
Yeah, just positive thoughts, miracles, prayers, etc. Appreciate it.
Well, sending your way, friend. Absolutely.
Sending your way, and again, reach for your dreams. Dream about them. Ask for him. Yeah, he is.
And he does have a PayPal link.
Right.
He is on Facebook. Facebook Pay works too.
There's another one, but I can't remember.
I don't have a wrench. I can link stuff.
What is it? Buy me a coffee?
That's it. Yeah, that's the one. That's my favorite one. Here, I'll rent you up, man. Well, I'll say that. Let me see if I can.
I can do it. I'm actually.
If you can, it'll be a lot easier than me switching accounts and coming back and forth. Yeah, please do, sir. And anyone else that is not wrenched, don't think we're not wrenching, folks. Blah blah blah. It's just we've been so wrapped up in the conversation until this moment to even do such a thing. Excuse me. So.
It wasn't that long ago. We were over on our old backup channel where everybody's wrenched.
Right. Absolutely.
I know, and I don't think we've had any problem at all with trolling tonight, unless I've missed it.
It's been a very great chat that I've really had a hard time keeping up with because this conversation had me so wrapped up. But the conversation there was really amazing. Shout out to Kevlar. Hope you come back and hang out with us. Definitely.
Yeah.
I had to go over there and talk to some folks because I couldn't talk here.
Yeah, when you get hit with the storm, Allison's over there hanging out. But yeah, lots of great conversations. Always hard for me to keep up because, my goodness, you guys.
You're just one guy.
Well, I mean, it's so much. You guys are just like I told Kevlar, anytime you have questions, concerns, if we're busy talking, dude, hit this chat. These people are amazing. Family is not even the word part. Lots of intelligence.
You might have to post in there, TJ, so I can find you again.
Lots of great stuff. You got the post there, Josh?
I'm working on getting them wrenched up.
Okay, you do that.
I was on the wrong channel, so I had to go back to our channel.
See, that's what I was worried about.
Now it doesn't scroll back far enough.
When I switch, I go back to the podcast when I haven't re-switched yet. That's where I'm at. That's what I keep doing. Every time I go to switch, I'm going to podcast channel. So,
Kevlar is one of those super, super awesome people that is one of our supporters over on Rockfin. Nice. And I enjoy him over on the Rockfin chat. It's a slightly different name. I apologize. My mind is going at this point in the day. I have a puppy that's scratching and I'm feeling so bad. I'm off screen because I'm on the floor with my dog right now. But Kevlar, I always enjoy chatting with you. I enjoy your interaction in the chat. And thank you for joining us. And thank you again for your support for Glowbusters also.
I put my digits and email up for him because he likes paper, right? And but Walt might have taken it down because I don't know, because he likes to watch out for me like that.
I did.
But
you feel comfortable?
Okay, cool.
Up there,
yeah. I've got some Sue Finelli, man.
Tommy her number, and I forgot to go find it and give it to him. So if anyone's comfortable enough to give your information out here on the channel, I certainly won't censor it, or at all.
Well, the first, you watched out for me that one time.
Well,
the very first time. And I'm glad that you did. I appreciate it.
But I think we all take care of each other pretty good here.
Because I'm here at this like shop car thing, right? Place. And I'm at the parts store a lot, and I would have fun at the Advanced Auto Parts, putting some remerchandise and stuff. And I'm a seller, right? I've done that. And I was like, but why do I have to go through the fucking bot first? Okay, why can't I just fill out my application? Oh, that's of the past. And I'm like, dude, man, because the manager there, he knows you, right? The bot doesn't know me, right? That I have worked a punch clock job for a while now, But I would have so much fun zipping around on a little stooly thing, putting the stuff back, because I have to make things saleable whenever I'm anywhere, because you gotta be able to see it, what you got. I love you guys.
Love you, lady. All right, I see.
Yes, as we're winding down, yeah.
You got Max Strength, Joe's hooked up. He dropped some links for everybody there in chat, so make sure. Oh man, I'm scrolling too far.
Oh, it's only 8:26.
Is it after 8? Oh, it really
It's
is.
8:26.
See, this is what happened. I had no clue. And my stomach started kind of rumbling. I'm like, well, I know I'll be hungry in a little while, but I know it's not late yet. It's dark. I should have known. It's been stormy here too, though. Not as bad as what you're experiencing, just darkening up. And I heard rain a few minutes ago.
Well, yeah, it's nothing now. I mean, it's. I guess some of it's past. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get another one, but it was for a second there. I mean, there was lightning that was like, 50 feet away. It seemed like, and I've never seen it that close. Well, I could never say that again, but it was fun. It was a little windy still. Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you for joining us, Allison.
Well, I kept that
Nice to
email
meet you.
from 4 months ago that has from our first conversation.
Mhm. And we know Josh is lazy
That
and
took
isn't
3
about to
tries.
get a new link put up there, so let's just go ahead and use this one. Yep, still works.
I like Josh where it's sunny. I mean, it's light in that room, and you can see his face. Not in the basement anymore.
Yeah. I
Well,
like it
now though.
up and away and dark, and that's how it works.
The whole St. Charles thing. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yep, all right.
Yep.
I guess we really should get
All
out of
right.
here since it is about that time.
Yeah, because once I realized what time it really is, I'm now going to die if I don't get out. I won't die. Trust me, I can live off this blubber for some time to come. But we have been at it a while. I guess we should slowly run.
1,
Well,
2,
guys,
3, hang
now-
on.
Allison, thank you.
Thanks.
For hanging.
Thanks for having me.
Corey, dude, thank you for coming and hanging. And dude, every
Anytime.
time you come, it's something exciting and different, and you have so much to cover. You're welcome, friend. Anytime, come hang out one day when you've been up all night over there on Ironworx with us.
Yeah.
Oh man, 4 o'clock in the morning would be great.
Yeah, I'm always up.
Well,
I
sure
probably
this should
will be again.
prime time.
That
Prime
being
time.
said, I wasn't quite sure what kind of hoary I would find on a Friday night. I am really digging this hoary. I just got to
Yeah,
say,
Absolutely,
it beats
had
like a
blast, man.
fireball hoary or something.
If
This one's good.
if you were looking for Harina too, it's no problem with me, guys.
Oh, dude. Look, as soon as I get it installed, I'll be playing with you soon. TJ, thank you, brother. Again, sending lots of love. Everybody hit those links.
Yeah, I appreciate just being here to take in the conversation.
Yeah, man,
It was a good one.
Absolutely. Come hang. Again, door never closed.
And you get the link. It'd be good for months.
It'll be good, dude. That link works. That's a permalink.
Oh, hey, it's the special link. Walt, can you send me that link otherwise or somewhere else? Because when I get bumped off the Zoom, it
Telegram.
disappears.
Yeah, I'll throw it on Telegram.
Okay. Oh, yeah, excellent. Check out the Telegram. Yeah, absolutely. Nice.
And I put that Telegram link in this chat way earlier, but I'll drop it again for you guys who aren't hanging out with us on Telegram.
Do it.
I'll make sure it's
There
in
were
the
like
show
119
descriptions, too.
chats I missed in like 3 days. It's getting big
I know. I missed a bunch.
over there.
So it's running fast.
Me too. Okay.
Wow, I've got 14
I don't know if
already.
it's just me, but those groups are better before they get huge. Some of them are huge, and it's like I don't know how I can
I don't
possibly
even know
keep
how to
up
deal
all
with it,
that.
right?
Oh, well, I'm sure
Once
we'll
we
be
get-
little.
once
I mean,
we
not
get
little, but
People were cutting it off, so get in there quick. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
how many?
I just
I
said
don't
a
even
number. I just
try.
said 60. I don't know.
I don't even try to keep up with them all. I am dropping a link in as I say
I
goodnight.
know, I'm
This
doing
was
so many links, and I've got them dropped here and dropped
Yep.
there, and oh goodness.
what I am dropping, and I should label it, but what I'm dropping is I was on Austin's channel last night with Christian Knapp.
Woo!
We had a blast.
The Melodome.
In the Melodome. Yes, we were in the Melodome.
Yeah.
And we had a fabulous time. For those that are interested in the magnetics, in the sun and moon rotations, in all of the little geek magnetic stuff and that, we had a blast. And we went into great detail on it. So I know a lot of you guys like following that for the super geeky, but it was fun between us, Awesome Austin, who was totally awesome, and Christian. And Christian he sang me a song. He made a song for me. I had a blast.
Cool.
In the different shows I've done over the years. I had probably as much fun. I mean, it's one of my favorites as far as where we just totally got in and totally geeked out. So I will share it because it was such a good time, and the people in here are nerdy enough to maybe get into that thing.
Thank
so,
you.
Yeah. I know.
Thank you.
But yeah,
I caught some of that.
And just because it's good to subscribe to his channel and the Melodome. And the night right before me, they had Brian Stavely, and they have different people and guests on, and they're building a show. But yeah, we did have a really fun time with it.
And Christian that usually does on his channel. He'll do like an intro live, like noodling singy thing for a little bit before, a while before the Melodome. He has in the past. Anyway.
Yeah, right. And then again, midstream, when you have to go to the bathroom and then you come back and then you watch the stream after the fact to find out that they wrote a song impromptu during the stream while you were streaming saying that you're the best. And it's like, oh, that's kind of wrong. But it's like impromptu songs written about you.
So June 18th is when we have Austin and Christian booked to be a guest here.
Really?
I thought we had them coming.
We do.
Once a month, music monthly.
They are
Music monthly.
Will culminate in the biggest FE jam that's ever happened live. I wish we could do it that way, man. If we could only get past all this technical crap. We just have to all get in one place. That's the only way it's going to happen.
They are fun because not only do they do the beautiful musical, but we play Magnets Realms, and we were doing Firmament. We played it all last night. We had a blast. So I'm excited to have them back and talk more with them.
Drop that in the YouTube chat, right?
I did, and I'll do it again.
Do it again. I've also dropped the link for the Flat Earth Variety Show coming up in 22 hours. Man, I was off. 22 hours.
Oh, and Tommy told me that he had the clip of like all the scripted TV news anchors. But he said he had the clip, but I don't know if he made a new one with the other stuff. But man, right on. Live variety show at Plateau Fest would be so awesome.
About this time tomorrow night, roughly 20.
Woohoo!
Awesome. So I dropped that. There's the awesome tongue. Good night. Cammy dropped those links in chat. Everyone, thank you. It feels like I'm missing somebody. Lucas, thank you, brother, for being here. And Zach, we miss you for sure.
We miss Zach in a big way. I miss him most, and I saw him just right before the show anyway. I'm just hoping his tummy feels better and more comfortable.
No doubt. You said something, Josh.
I think I was telling Zach to feel better.
Oh, that was it. Okay. All right. TJ, thank you. Hori, thank you. Allison, thank you. Thank you.
You. Have a good night, y'all.
All right. Love y'all.
Love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's a 3-day weekend for me, so I get to catch up on some sleep that I've missed over the last 5 years. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. We love you. Be good. Be well. And we'll see you right back here next Friday for another episode of Have No Sphere right here on the Ironworx Media YouTube channel. And it seems like I had some music queued up, but I don't know. What do I want to do here? Just because I can. Love you guys.
Peace out, everyone.
I was muted. Haha.
Little boxes on the hillside. Little boxes made of ticky-tack. Little boxes on the hillside. Little boxes all the same. There's a green one and a pink one and a blue one and a yellow one. They're all made out of ticky-tacky. They all look just the same. And the people in the houses all went to the university. where they were put in boxes. They came out all the same. And there's doctors and there's lawyers and business executives, and they're all made out of ticky-tacky. They all look just the same. And they all play on the golf course and drink their martinis dry. They all have pretty children. The children go to school, and the children go to summer camp, and then to the university, where they are put in boxes. They come out all the same. And the boys go into business and marry and raise a family in boxes made of ticky-tacky. They all look just the same. There's a green one and a pink one and a blue one and a yellow one. They're all made out of ticky-tacky. They all look just the same.